And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Vapor Trails TV on a Wednesday night. It's not Sunday. I could have easily described this as a Sunday night, and it's not Dave's Tackle Box either. This is The Cave. Matt, as you can see on the screen just there, he's looking a bit peaky, isn't he? I don't think it's just the white balance, to be honest with you. He's feeling a little bit under the weather and wasn't sort of confident he could push the right buttons, so I've hijacked his show. That's pretty much the way it's going to be. Let's get the titles rolling. See you in a bit.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of Vapetrails.tv.
I'll just click that because otherwise there'll be echo. You can tell I haven't done this for a while, can't you? Oh my god, I just looked over my shoulder and Rhydian's like sort of... Has he frozen? No? Yes.
No.
No? He was just sitting very still. Oh, Ryd, you're on screen, so you might as well say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, he's frozen. He's frozen. Matt, say something.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, Matt works. Rhydian doesn't.
It's just
What can
typical
I
Wednesday
say?
night fare.
What can I say? And so, yes, Matt, you're not feeling too clever, I take it.
No, not at all. But there we go. A soldier on, like.
Show must go on and all of that. Rhydian's on screen now because he's coughing. So, do you want to say something now instead, Rhydian?
Yeah, I hate technology.
Okay, I'm sure it hates you. And doing multitasking as usual, we have Sav. Say hi, Sav.
Hello.
We are depending on the Hangout to do the audio switching tonight, so because I've only got so many hands and I need to drink and vape at the same time. Yeah. So you're going to be imparting some insight later, I gather.
Me?
Yes.
Insight?
Yes. Don't worry, I'll tell you during the first ad break. It'll be cool.
Okay.
Okay. But what we've basically got lined up for you tonight is we've got a bit of VT that Rhydian's done, looking at some temperature-controlled coils, or coils that are made of nickel, presumably. But he'll tell us all about that stuff. And then I just want to find out if they're any better than the ones that I'm using. And we're going to have a little bit of a natter. We're going to look forward to Vapefest UK, which is coming up. And we're going to look backwards to where Vapefest came from all those years ago, because it was some time ago now. But I think we'll get cracking. Let's start as we mean to carry on. We'll have a look at this VT that Rhydian's done. He's looking at the Arctic temperature control coils. So here we go. See you in a few minutes.
So here we have the latest offering from Horizon Tech, and it is the temperature sensing, temperature control coils for the Arctic tank. It comes in a pack of 5, as you would with the Canthal ones. With the Canthal ones, you've got the 0.2, 0.5 for the dual, and then 0.2, 0.5 and 1.2 for the single. The temperature sensing coils, the box is pretty much laid out the same as the Canthal. All the warnings, websites at the bottom, link will go into chat momentarily, no doubt. And what have we got information wise, apart from the usual verification, scratch and sniff, scratch and entering on the website. We've got a target resistance of 0.2 ohms for these nickel coils, suggested 20 to 80 watts. I can't read upside down today. And it's got suggested temperatures for your temperature limiting in degree C and Fahrenheit. So what's the physical differences between a Canthal one, which is this one on your left, and the heads on the... Excuse me, I got juice on my fingers. And the heads on the temperature sensing. Well, first off, it doesn't appear to be much of a difference. With the Canthal heads, you've still got the coil in the middle and Canthal on the outside, wick on the outside, and it's exactly the same with the NI200. But if you've got, excuse me again, if you've got two Arctic coils side by side, one temp sensing, one not, how would you tell the difference? Because you've got, let me just bring that into focus. You've got NI200 and you've got the 0.2 ohms and the suggested watts usage, mainly because the temperature is completely up to you and it's on the box anyway. So let's clean up for a moment and then we'll test it on something. Right, it's on the devices now. Well, one of them, it's the VT, the TW Revolution VT60, TC60, in the Arctic tank as it should be. And the key question is, does the temperature control, temperature protection actually work? And it's coming out on the VT as 0.23, if you can make it out just about. There we are, 0.23, set at 260 degrees Celsius, centigrade, and let's see if it actually kicks in. There we go, yeah, that kicks in. Let's have another try. Right, the coil's quite warm already, so yeah, that kicks in. Let's try on the Vapor Shark, shall we? Right, it was coming at 0.23 on the VT. And on her DNA 40, right, new coil, come on, there we go, new coil, let's try again. Right, it's coming out at 0.27, so that is a little bit of a difference. Can I cope with it? Probably. Well, not can I cope with it, yeah, I can definitely cope with the resistance, but I mean, can I cope with the change in resistance readouts? There's always going to be a bit of a difference depending on the device, the quality of the board and the programming of the board. So let's see if it works on the DNA 40. And yes, it does. Right, this is set at 240. Not too sure if you can make it out there. There we are. It's set at 240. And it kicks in. Right, I'm gonna set them up at the same temperature, so bear with me while I lock it. Change the temperature to 260 and put them both lock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change them both down to 30 watts or 30.1. So you've got 30.1 there, and you have 30.1 there. So roughly the same, give or take the resistance. And remember that the DNA 40's got that preheat punch up to the temperature you set it at. So flavour's coming through quite nicely. Let's see if the temperature kicks in as I'm drawing. Right, it doesn't quite kick in at 260. Right, that doesn't bother me whatsoever. So let's put it back onto the VT and let's see if it does the same. I'm gonna end up needing to top the tank soon. So air hole's full open as it was. Right, the temperature protection is kicking in at 260C on the VT. Sorry, got to get in a shot red. So yeah, it's checking out, and the main reason for that is you've got the ridiculously big juice windows, as you can see roughly there. There we go. You've got ridiculously big juice windows, so it's able to cope with the juice I've got in there, which is 85% VG, and compared to the Kanger nickel heads and the Ego 1 Mega, the TW Tornado heads, it just knocks them out of the park, because I don't think that they're built to cope with the thicker juices. So if you're on a really high VG content, one, I would choose the Arctic tank for various reasons. Dave Dawn looked at it quite a while back and thought it was the bee's knees. I concur. But for TC, if you have thick juices, also go for the Arctic with the temperature sensing heads. Right, they come in a pack 5. I bought these myself, £15 from King Vaping Neath. They are available online in other places. Just do a quick Google search for Arctic tank nickel coils UK. Make sure you put the UK on the end, or if you're American, and put USA, etc. for wherever you are. So I personally think that the Arctic TC kicks the other current NI200 heads for a tank out of the water, because it just wicks so easily with thicker juices. No other point in that. If you've got thinner juices, it may work even better because it's going through to the coil faster. Compared to the other tanks I've tried, well, to be honest, the Ego 1 Mega doesn't have enough airflow for what I want for a start. So the TC in that with this juice is just, I just tend to not use it. It's 50-50 or thereabouts, not this thick. The sub-tank still not coping with the thick juices for me, but I did try the version 2 of the RBA deck, so that's the ones that you get with the kind of sub box, and it does cope better than the original version with 85% VG, but it does not cope as well as the Arctic coils in TC mode. So yeah, back to the studio.
And welcome back, everybody. And okay, well, Rhydian happens to be on screen again, which is just pure chance because it's nothing I did. Ryd, so you were impressed with those then?
Yeah, it all boils down to the thickness of the juice that I like using.
Right.
Because I can't really cope in the Ego 1 Mega, the TW Tornado tank that originally goes on this one. Because, as I said in the video, it's like the wicking holes to the coils just aren't big enough to cope with thick juices. And I like to blow clouds, big clouds of vapor now, by chance.
Right. Okay.
And
I've got to be honest, I'm not a fan of those tanks that came with the EVIC VT. Period. No. Now I have to say I've only used them with the TI coils, and I just found, don't want to be too critical here, it was wicking okay for me. I'm using, I think the thickest juice I used was like a 70-30, and so it was kind of wicking all right, and the temp control worked and everything, but there's just something about the flavour. I don't know whether it was the taste of the coil, or whether it was just too clean, but whatever it was, the juice didn't taste as good. So I've started going back to my sub tank. But you think this thing knocks spots off the sub tank, basically, do you?
I like my drawers quite airy now, and I put the same juice in a sub tank, and I've been using that in a sub tank before I got the Arctic, and I both tried it on temperature control coils on the respective ATIs, and at the same settings on each devices, the Arctic just kicks out more. Even if you do have the preheat kick on the DNA 40, it just chucks. I can't fault it.
All right, praise indeed, praise indeed. Has anybody else tried those coils at all?
Nope.
All right, so
Although, actually, I'd like to point out one thing I read during the week of me sitting there, not being very well, not being at work and reading the forums. There was a post in UKV about apparently Horizon Tech are going out of business. I'm not entirely sure how true that is.
right, okay, so it might be worth bearing in mind.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so okay, yeah, all right. Well, because I'm tempted there based on Ryd's feedback to pick up an Arctic tank. And how much do they go for, ish?
When I bought it, it was around between £25 and £30 from where I got it online.
Right.
And I don't believe I've put the Arctic down at all, unless I'm just literally changing a device for the odd vapor's tongue relief.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, but it goes like that, doesn't it? You tend to go with something and you're quite happy with it, and then you'll try something else, and then you might follow that and what have you. So maybe I'll pick one up. Somebody will be flogging one at Vapefest, won't they? So I'm sure. So I'll give that a go. All right then. What I'm going to do, because I think we can draw a line under that, can't we? I might come back later in the show actually and talk about sort of these tanks and what have you, because it's been a bit of a revelation for me. So, but before that, I want to make sure we talk about Vapefest sort of future and past. But we'll do that after the first ad break, I think, because it's about that time, isn't it, Matt?
I'd say so. 20 past, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, let's do some ads.
DaveK UK are proud sponsors of Vapefest.tv.
Healthy Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquids. Proud sponsors of vaping entertainment on Vapor Trails TV.
DaveK UK are proud sponsors of Vapefest.tv.
And welcome back. So this is part 2. So I did a sort of fairly neat little segue, didn't I, at the end of part 1 about Vapefest. It's this weekend. I'm be amazed if there's anybody watching this who doesn't know that UK Vapefest is this Saturday and Sunday in Shrewsbury. Is it the county ground, the county showground or something? I forget what it's called now.
Yeah, it is.
It's the big field outside Shrewsbury. It's a big thing. You can't miss it. It's where everybody will be going. Just follow them. Head for Shrewsbury. Follow the crowd. I didn't go last year, so I haven't actually been to an open air Vapefest at this venue before. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I know, Rhydian, you're going, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I'm going.
And you're not working.
I'm not working. I'm there as a punter.
You're in civvies.
Yeah, to a point.
Okay. Go on then. You might as well elaborate now.
Yeah, well, civvies to a point because I'll be helping out Vapors in Power.
Right.
So I'm going to be helping out them for a couple of hours and then hopefully doing a little bit of shopping.
Right.
Because I'm just there for the people and the beer. Or cider in my case.
And the Vapors in Power and the shopping. That you just mentioned.
Well, to relax and hang out.
Yeah,
that's sweat away in a tent.
That's exactly why I'm going this time as well. We've done a few sort of shows, these expo things and everything this year with VTTV, and this is by no means is this a complaint because it was thoroughly good fun. But we've been working, so for this one I'm actually looking forward to being able to just have a few beers and catch up with people and just have a bit of a laugh. On the subject of the Vapors in Power tent, I'm supposed to be delivering a presentation or a speech or something.
So am I.
I hope none of them are watching this because I don't know what on yet. But they managed to get some big hitters lined up as well. I don't know whether you saw Simon Clark from Forest. He's going to be there, and that looks like he's going to do a kind of double act with Dick Puddlecoat. Is what I read. So that should be good because Simon Clark, you know, he's had his moments, hasn't he? He's had a few pops at us Vapors, Probably deservedly in some cases. Anybody that doesn't know, Forrester are an organisation that campaign for the right to smoke. Yeah. And Simon has pointed out a few times that vapers are very happy to throw smokers under the bus to further their cause. And he may have a point, but I'm looking forward to meeting him. I know he was tweeting the other day, and he's really looking forward to coming and stuff. And I think that's a bit of a coup for vapers in power as well, actually, because he's quite a well-known character in the news and what have you, isn't he? I think it's going to be good. Matt, you're planning on attending subject to your health, I believe.
Yes, I was actually informed by She Who Must Be Obeyed that we are going to be going to Vapefest.
Excellent.
Assuming I'm well enough to drive. So, but I'm looking forward to it if I do go. So
That should be good.
fun. I didn't go last year either. Actually, it happens.
No. What was that?
No, I was
Can you
there the year
remember?
before. Last year, I can't remember why I didn't go last year. I didn't for some reason or the other. But the year before, I was there working the Cloud9 vaping stall.
Yes, I saw you. I saw you there in 2014.
Yes, I believe you bought a mod.
I did. I bought a Super T little 14500 thing.
The little dinky thingy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
absolutely wicked thing. Yeah, it was really good. Yes, I wasn't there last year because I was in China, I remember. And it was a bit difficult to nip back for. But, yeah. So what are you hoping to get from this year?
I'm not going there to do any shopping at all, to be honest with you. I've got enough stuff. I don't need to buy anything else to even review because I've got so much stuff sitting in the wings here. So basically, if I'm honest, I'm going there just to have a chat to people. That's it.
I think that is the best reason to go, actually. I think it is the best reason to go to Vapefest, is to meet up with people you perhaps haven't seen since the last one, and just have a good time and relax and chill out a bit. Especially since Marco is going to be doing all the filming. So he's not going to enjoy that comment, is he? So yeah, we'll all get pissed while Marco makes some videos. Seems like fair enough, doesn't it? But yeah, we were chatting anyway earlier. I mean, Vapefest now. Okay, so this has become a massive event. I don't know how many thousands of people they're expecting to be there over the Saturday and Sunday, but it's going to be I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6,000, some ridiculously big number anyway, and pretty much every vendor that you've heard of from the UK is going to be there. It's going to be a fantastic event, I'm sure. But it's funny. If you, we were talking earlier. I'm going to introduce Sav because Sav has a claim to fame when it comes to UK Vapefest. Because Sav was one of the organising committee for the very first UK Vapefest, which took place in Tamworth at the Plough and Harrow pub. I was there, but I didn't know any of these guys at that point. And Sav and Dave Dawn and Kat and Cliffy and Russ, they did basically organise the whole damn thing, really. So Sav, I'm going to throw you here, and can you tell us why did you organise the first Vapefest? How did it come about?
Well, I remember me and Kat were reading some of the American forums, and they were just starting to organise their type of events and things. And we thought, why don't we organise a local event and see if we can get a couple of the locals together? And we organised an event at York Brewery. And when we got there was people had come from all over the country. And we thought, hang on a minute. People are actually wanting to do this. They're wanting to meet up and chat, and it was the strangest sensation. I mean, Andy Sutton was there. He was very quiet, and he stood in the corner and pointed the camera at everyone, and then left and very rarely said a word. And it was
Andy was quiet.
It was really quiet. So I had to sort of pin him down at the bar afterwards before we actually got to speak to him.
Well, it's funny you should say that because it was seeing Andy Sutton's video of not sure what you called it. It was just a vape meet, really, wasn't it? At York.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a dry run for the real thing, didn't it? I guess.
Yeah, it did.
But it was watching that that made me go to the first Vapefest, because I'd only been vaping for about 6 weeks, I think, at the time. And I just sort of joined UKV, the UK Vapers Forum, and saw that video, and sort of as soon as I realised that you know that you guys were organising this UK Vapefest thing just down the road from me, I had to go. But sorry, I'll let you carry on. Carry on.
Well, after sort of when we got home, I remember sitting chatting with the guys, and it was like, we need to do something, and it was like, where are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it? And I was like, well, it's got to be central. So we pretty much looked at a map and picked the most central place in the country, and that's where Tamworth came from, because it was pretty much bang in the middle. Phoned around a couple of places, and the Plough and Harrow, I think they were the second one that we phoned, and they said, yeah, we've got a conservatory and things that would be perfect. It would hold about 80, 90 people. And we were like, oh, that sounds brilliant. We'll never get that many people turning up and things. Then it was just, we got a banner made. We thought, right, we need a banner. So we made a banner, and we had the banner outside. And I mean, Russ, bless him, spent the day writing out name badges. Me and Kat must have spent about 7 hours folding up raffle tickets, because we had one of those hand spinning tombola things.
I remember it. Didn't Tom make that?
Yes, Tom did, and Tom brought down homemade cakes and things like that. And Gary Dibley arrived, and he stood in the corner, another one that barely said a word. Very shy and retired, and look at him now.
I remember. I remember going into that place, and of course I didn't know anybody. I'd seen a couple of names on the UKV forum, and as I walked in, I got there quite early because I had to get a lift off the missus, and I remember I'd got my hair cut and, as soon as they opened in the morning, and I was there a bit early, and I saw Peter Cole from Decadent Vapors walking across the car park, who I'd never seen or heard of before, with the tash and everything, and I kind of followed him in, and you guys were all having your breakfast.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
I remember. And Peter Cole had that plastic tray, do you remember? And he had that stuff he called plutonium ice, was it? The 72 milligram stuff?
Yeah.
And he had a massive bottle of that, a load of pipettes, and a sample, a little 5 ml, I think it was, of every flavour that DV made.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to mix stuff to order. So,
yeah, it was fabulous watching him mix stuff, because people were just coming up and going, can you mix something that tastes like grapefruit and lime with a touch of toffee? And they'd be like, yeah, there you go. And it's like, wow.
It was amazing, wasn't it? And there was one vendor.
Yeah.
Toby from iVapor, who's been a long time supporter of VTTV, pretty much from day one. And he bought, like, I think he just got bullied into bringing down a load of silver bullets and stuff, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, me and Kat got on to him going, you're coming, aren't you? You're coming. Right, I'll come. Now you're in this, and you're bringing it. I don't want to bring it up. You're bringing it. All right, I'm bringing it. That was kind of how that happened. But yeah, it was fantastic. I think we had about 75 or something we got through the doors, and we were...
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, we were over the moon. We thought maybe a handful of people would turn up, and I mean, this was, say, back in 2010, and it was just brilliant. Absolutely fantastic day.
Well, it created one hell of a legacy, didn't it? Because one of the guys that was there was Wayne.
Yeah.
And Wayne sort of picked up the mantle, didn't he? And went on to organise the 2011, 12, 13, 14, and I think this year's as well, although I haven't actually looked. I think he's still involved with the committee even. So it turned out to be a kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? It was. We used that term, didn't we? The tipping point.
Yeah.
And people couldn't wait a year, so we had a mini meet in the same place. I remember
and that was where Vapor Trails was born.
And that was where Vapor Trails was born. And then, but for Vapefest in 2011, they knew it needed to be bigger, didn't they?
Yes.
And I'm not sure. I think I was probably the only one of the group that's here that went to that one. That was like they took the Moat House in Tamworth, which was a much bigger room than the Plough and Harrow had, but turned out to be not big enough. They were like, I can remember seeing that something like 600 rings a bell, because you had to sign in for fire regulations, I remember, and we know everybody didn't, but there were hundreds and hundreds of signatures, and it was just rammed. So the next year in the same place, they moved outside into the marquee, and then that would have been 2012. Then 2013, it was a bigger marquee, I think, and tents outside. And then last year they finally moved to somewhere absolutely huge. We could have done with Marco here, couldn't we? Because he was there. But it was. Did you go last year, Rid? I'm not sure.
I was working it.
Oh, you were working it. So okay. So I haven't been to the big outdoor setup yet, right? All this camping and stuff. What should I expect? What am I in for?
Well, I wouldn't know if because I worked it. I had the luxury of a hotel last year. But last year was lots of tent, lots of marquees, lots of people, plenty of people just chilling out, relaxing, and decently sized queues at the vendor tent, but it kept on flowing. So depending on which vendor you were seeing, you were either there for like less than 30 seconds before you were at the front, or you were just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Unless you were at one of the mixing bars, for example, then you did have to wait a while, but you got what you wanted at the end.
Right, I'm really, really looking forward to it, to be honest. I think it's going to be good. Because the last time I went to Vapefest, which was in 2013, yeah, the last one at the Moat House, I actually went. I did take a camera with me, but not a lot of camera equipment. I just sort of shot a little bit of stuff just so I had something for my show at the time. But I actually made a point of actually not working it and actually just sort of getting around. And I think once you've been vaping a few years and you've got like most of the mods and the kit and stuff that you want, that I basically avoid all those queues and just drink. So that's pretty much my plan for this year. And of course, if Matt's going, he'll be needing a medicinal drink, wouldn't you, mate?
Yeah, I would. Unfortunately, a medicinal drink means I can't drive the car back. That's the problem.
But that's why you stay over.
If what I could. We'll see.
No pressure, but you're a wuzz if you don't. I've bought a new tent. It's not that I'm looking forward to this or anything, but I bought a new tent, chair, tank. I've bought loads of gear. I've even filled the gas lamp. That's how serious it is. And so I'm just basically going to not get up too early on Saturday morning. Get there when I get there. Bringing me 5 litre keg of hobgoblin with me, for which I've bought a cool bag. I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. I've got to be honest. Right. So yes. So in case you didn't get the message, that's this weekend in Shrewsbury, not Shrewsbury. That should start a discussion. And I'm not sure what time it opens or anything like that, because I wasn't really that bothered, because I'm not going to be there early.
Camping opens at around 4:30 on the Friday.
Yeah.
And I do believe the campsite closes around midday on the following Monday for all the campers.
Right.
And then something like 9:30 in the night for the vendors on the Sunday.
Right. Well, I'll definitely arrive sometime between those two times anyway.
So will I.
So, yeah, okay, right, look, it's time for our second ad break, so we'll go into that, and when we get back, we shall talk some more. I want to talk about juice whoring, so which nobody's prepared for, but it's just something that I wanted to talk about, and it's something I definitely lay the blame on Matt.
DaveK UK are proud sponsors of VapeTrails.tv.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Award-winning service and products from cloud9vaping.co.uk.
Vapors, Dripper just got 40% bigger. So if you love discovering new e-liquids, tell Dripper what flavours you like and we'll send you 70ml of juice and at least 5 flavours. With a money-back guarantee and free delivery anywhere in Europe, dripper.co.uk.
What's in this e-cig cloud? Harmless water vapour, right? Pretty much, yes. Compared to a lit cigarette, it's much safer than smoke. But it contains nicotine, and nicotine on its own isn't toxic and doesn't cause cancer. If you're worried about switching to vapour, here are some facts. No tar, no smoke, no burnt tobacco. Cooking your evening meal produces more toxins than are found in exhaled vapour. Tobacco smoke contains toxins at very high levels, and vapour does not. And that vapour contains 6,000 times less carcinogens than cigarette smoke. Electronic cigarette vapour. There's nothing to be frightened of. The only dangerous electronic cigarette is a banned one.
DaveK UK are proud sponsors of VapeTrails.tv.
Back in the room. Come back. Yeah, just monitoring chat there, and there's music this year. Apparently, there's going to be a stage, something called a DJ on it. Apparently, and there's an AC/DC tribute band. Apparently, is there? And then apparently there's going to be some good stuff too. I heard something about a French punk band or something. So,
Are you taking your guitar, Dave?
nope.
Oh, I'll bring me drums then. We could have had a couple of damn numbers, couldn't we?
I suppose I could bring a guitar, but I won't. Anyway, Matt, just before we go on, I'd like you to just demonstrate for us just one more time what you were doing during the break there, because I think it was good.
Right, Dave, has anyone ever told you you're a rotten sod?
No, I've been called an evil bastard a few times.
Well, I was minding my language, see. Right,
So
here we
talk
go.
us through it. Talk us through it.
So, if I don't see you again, I'll see you maybe next year. Right, 200 watts. Here we go. He wants to see it again. There you go. That's
200 watts.
week now.
200 watts.
Twice in 1 week. Can I curl up and die now, please?
And how do you feel?
Yeah.
Keep the camera on him. Keep the camera on him. 200 watts. That's crazy, that is. That's crazy.
I'll bring this with me on Saturday. You can have a bloody go at it.
Yeah, I will. You know me. I'll have a go.
Reed, can you sort us out some Diablo for us before then?
I've no idea what. I'm not saying I'll be able to take it, but I'll have a go. Right. Okay. Yes. So I said just before the break there, I want to talk about this whole idea of being a juice whore. And I'm going to kind of kick this back to Matt as well. Right. Up until, well, might as well get to the point. Up until Vape Jam in early May of this year, that was the big expo thing that we all piled down to in Olympia in London. Right. used pretty much one flavour juice. It was Decadent Vapors DY4 that I mixed myself. I used to mix it by the litre, and I was quite happy with it. And then I was dragged kicking and screaming to the Vapor Shark stand by Matt.
It wasn't really dragged. I mean, he took your camera and everything.
Well, that's true. but Matt, he said, "Yeah, look, what you want is one of them." And I chose the RDNA 40 and a Kanga sub tank. Yeah, like Reed's holding up there, but with a Kanga sub tank. And it was like, I think, was it the trade morning or something like that? But basically,
it was the
they
Friday
were chucking
morning,
in free juice. You know, everything was a good price, and they chucked in some. I think they actually chucked in about 10 bottles of juice, didn't they? But they filled up the sub tank for me, because he did it all for me, didn't he? And and he showed me, prime the coil like this and all the rest of it, put nickel coils on it. So it's the first time I tried temperature control, and they only had 6 milligram juice, and I can remember thinking, oh, right. But since...
Well, I think there's actually 3 milligram, wasn't it? I'm just looking at the bottle now.
I think... No, I had 6.
Sorry, I've got 4.
I've got 4.
No, I'm pretty sure mine was 6.
Okay.
It's long since gone, so I can't check. But put it this way, it was a lot less than the 28 milligram that I was vaping when I walked into the place, yeah?
Yes.
And I tried this thing, and from that moment, I have vaped virtually no higher nicotine content DY4 at all. And in actual fact, at the subsequent shows and shopping online and stuff like that, I've started to acquire quite a cupboard full of different juice, and a lot of it is American stuff where it tends to be quite strongly flavoured. So it's been a total revelation for me. And what I thought I'd do is I just want to throw this around the team a little bit, okay? And like I say, I've gone from one flavour. I've now got 4 or 5 flavours on the go. So in this one I have, it's like a suicide bunny juice. It's called the King or something. I don't know. But I got like sort of half a litre of it from the States recently. In this one I've got some Cutwood sugar drizzle, I think it is. In this one I've got that Tob cookies stuff. And there's a few others around as well. I can't reach any of them at the moment, but you get the picture. So now I'm swapping between flavours. I like different flavours at different times of the day, and that kind of thing. I think I'll throw it to Matt first of all, and say, what's your juice usage like? Are you doing? Do you have a few sort of staples, or are you somebody who likes to experiment with the different flavours, or what?
Right. Before I answer that, I'm going to share a fun little story. Actually, it happened the same day.
Right.
The same day, Dave Dawn introduced me to his flavours liquid, and I was puffing away in the Arctic tank that I got that day. And said to Dave, Kidson, have a go at this. This is really quite pleasant. So he has a go, and he goes, I don't see the point.
I genuinely don't remember saying that. Presumably I said that because it didn't taste of anything.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
It's into the point. Yeah, because you'll be puffing away, and whatever that liquid was that Vapor Shark filled up that tank with for you.
It was their tobacco.
Yeah, that's right. It reminded you of a Vermilion River or something, didn't it?
That's right. It was nothing like, it didn't taste anything like tobacco to me. But
no.
I just liked the flavour of it. But I haven't had any more since, because I contacted Vapor Shark and they gave me the name of their UK retailer. And I used the contact us thing on their website a couple of times to find out if I could buy some. And I never got a reply, so I thought stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. But in answer to the question, I still vape the same juices I have done for the last few years as my all-day, everyday sort of thing, because I mix them up in such a quantity that I can get through them quite nicely. But when I'm at home, I've still got all this stuff to get through.
Yeah.
But I've got so many nice juices that I've been given and purchased these last few events So I quite like to treat myself when I get in from work and just sit down with a dripper and just go through them. And it's a very pleasurable experience, I find.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you like to sort of experiment and try and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I still stick to me standard stuff. I've found one or two juices over the last year that I've started buying because I really like them, and that'll probably happen with some of these as well. To be honest with you.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that. So then what I did is I got this cookies stuff, which is still like hard to buy in the UK. In fact, you can't. But I'm happy to say I found a supply. What I did is I went on to, I think it was Vape Club or somewhere like that, and tried everything that had the name cookies, like, search for cookies to see. And that's how I found that Suicide Bunny one. But I think I bought 6 or 7 different juices, and most of them were rank. So I've kind of settled on these few now. So, but I guess up until recently, at least, I'm the total opposite of you, Sav. Am I?
Yeah, I mean, when I started out, I was mental, 100% mental all the time, and then I got into sort of mixing, and it was like, oh, gotta mix this, gotta mix that, gotta mix this, and I'd find juices that I really liked, and I'd mix up. Like I've got a bottle there of something, and as soon as I mixed it up, I went off it. So I mean, that bottle's been sitting there for 18 months now, and it's like, okay.
Oh, is that another rank tank?
No, that didn't go anywhere near rank tank. I think it could have possibly helped.
I've got a few of those on the shelf here, I tell you.
What I found over the last 18 months is I'm buying a lot more juices now. I mean, I've got 2 staples that I've got on the go. I've got my Beard Vape number, what is it, Matt? Number 1? 64. Love that. And my new one that I'm blagging off every member of the team if they have any is Jam Toast. So it's all flavours that I would never have previously gone near, but I've got little bottles of things sitting all over the place now. I've got some of that sugar drizzle, and I've got all sorts of flavours, and it's like, oh, no, I want this, no, I want that. But I've given up at the minute of mixing my own because I can never create what I want.
Right.
Actually, can I just butt in there?
Yeah.
Because that's something I've noticed in myself as well. Apart from the 2 flavours that I've been vaping consistently for the past couple of years, I don't really mix anything anymore. I've got a whole drawer here full of, it's literally full of bottles of concentrates.
Yes.
And I barely touch them.
Yeah. I remember when I first started, I actually went out and I bought one of those little toolbox things you get from B&Q. All the hardware stores are available.
Yeah.
And I bought like loads of the DV flavourings, the concentrates, mostly because of that first Vapefest and stuff actually. And Pete Cole mixed a few. I thought that's nice. And I got a load of concentrates from directly from China and all sorts. And I tried everything. But then what actually happened was I tried an RY4, and again it was Toby from iVapor. He's RY4. And just sort of latched onto that, and I just found it easier to buy it because it was consistent and you knew what you were getting every time, and then ended up on various different RY4s and then onto the DY4 where I was for 4 years or something.
Actually, something else as well. I think the DY4 was also my fault.
It was partially your fault, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because the story behind that was we were sat at one of these vape meets with Peter Cole saying, "Why don't you make an RY4?" And he sort of shrugged, and over a period of probably a year and a few of these vape meets, he eventually said, "Yeah, we're going to make one. We're going to call it DY4." And it was at the vape meet that you organised in South Wales. 2 things happened. You presented me with a bottle of that DY4 ready mixed.
Yes.
And also, DV had their little juice bar thing there.
Yep.
And they mixed me some more of it with a little bit more concentrate, a little bit more flavour in it. And but it was yeah. I would say that you definitely were partly to blame for that as well. This isn't shaping up too well for you, is it?
It's not really, is it?
We're sort of heading towards the last 5 minutes, so I'm going to throw it over to Rid and ask you, come on, Rid, what you work in a place that makes flavours, so what are your sort of flavour habits like?
Most of the time, I make up 30 mils to last me like a week or so, but for different devices. So I keep one flavour for a particular tank that works well for that flavour for my choice. But I do tend to stick to that 30 mils until it's gone. I don't chop and change as much, but I do like to mix a lot and try and invent new combinations. At the moment, I'm not becoming much successful at trying to get a curry flavour savoury vape, but
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to butt in there because Pete Cole made us a chicken chili, which was a kind of a curry flavour one at that Midlands mini meet. Sav will remember that because you've seen the video.
Yeah.
Using he did one with Diablo Loco and chicken. It was just awesome. And then there was, but the one that everybody liked a bit better was the Diablo Poco with the chicken. So try that. Try your roast chicken and the Diablo Poco if you still make that stuff. That goes
I'll tell
really
you what
well.
is good actually. The roast chicken with a bit of lemon. That's actually surprisingly good.
That sounds sick.
It's actually really good.
Sorry, Rid. Carry on, mate.
No, it's like what you see with your devices. I've got like a current cough drops in the Arctic. I've got one of the Vapor Sharks in the sub tank. I've got Beard Vapes number 5 in the Ego 1, which I should.
That's why he's got a beard.
Say that again, Matt.
I said that's why he's currently got a beard.
I was
another
coming to
5
that.
cut, you notice.
I was coming to that. Is this
Thanks, Matt. and then I've got a custard in the Nautilus, and
that's quite a variety, really, isn't it?
Yeah, some of the flavors are there just to keep my tongue awake. Others just to satisfy my sweet sugar cravings.
Right,
of sorts.
right.
So,
well, it's funny you should mention that because you got a variety there. You had sort of fruity stuff and sort of the desserty stuff and what have you. And the Beard Vapes one presumably is a tobacco-y kind of thing, is it? I'm not sure.
No, strawberry milkshake.
Oh, there you go, strawberry milkshake. Whereas, although like I started this whole segment by saying, that I've become a juice whore and sort of really broadened my horizons, basically everything I'm vaping now is biscuit flavoured. Or donut.
But the thing is, you've got lots of different juice manufacturers to find where you want to be. So that's still technically juice whoring.
I suppose it is really.
Lots of it.
You've gone from just one biscuit to now having a whole biscuit barrel.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like a variety assortment.
Yeah.
I have to say though, as funny as it is, and I was a guest on a show couple of months back, I guess, and I was talking about when mixing DY4 by the litre costs like pence per day for your juice consumption. I don't know what it's costing me now, but it's more. It's a lot more, and it's a new expense. It's an expense that I'm not accustomed to having. So, but I tell you what, I think it's worth every penny at the moment. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Just Rid made the point as well about like if you're using a flavour sort of continually, you kind of stop tasting it so well after a while, don't you?
Yeah.
And just by flicking between these, that's enough to keep it tasting nice. So there's nothing better than after a good steak and chips, right? cookies. It's the biz, I tell you. Right, well, nobody's going to believe the time when I tell them.
Is it that time?
It's that time. It's that time.
Wow.
It's time to wrap it up. Matt, I hope I haven't destroyed your show totally too much.
No, you've done a better job than I ever do.
I suspect not.
No.
And,
No, seriously, Dave. Thank you very much for stepping in tonight.
It's my pleasure. You know it is. You know it's my pleasure, and I hope you're feeling better soon. And because
Yes.
you'll need to be camping over on Saturday so we can have a beer, right?
We'll see.
Well, we've been to all these events, haven't we? And we said we're going to have a beer. We'll have a few. And we've been that knackered because we've been working all day that we've ended up not having a beer. So it would be great. So, but I'll look forward to seeing you, even if you can't drink. Rhydian, thanks very much for your review and also, of course, for your input and your insight.
Insight. It's a bit cloudy, my insight.
That's
and
okay.
Just the room.
That's fine on a vaping show. It can be as cloudy as you like, and people will think you meant it. It's all good. And finally, over to Sav to say thank you very much. Sav's been doing the production behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I'm multitasking.
You are the female on the team. You are therefore the only one capable of multitasking. You'll get no argument from me on that.
This is true. This is true.
And I've really enjoyed doing it. It's been good fun. I'll be back with my own show sometime towards the end of September. That's the plan. So up until then, we've got tomorrow night. We've got the old Gits, I believe, at 9 o'clock. So and let's face it, it's a descriptive title. So,
It does what it says on the biscuit tin.
Could have paid a PR for millions, and they couldn't have come up with anything better than that, could they?
Millions of what?
And then while we're on our cut down summer schedule, that'll take us back around to next Tuesday, where Marco will be back with Vapor Scene and Matt will be back in the seat. Not this one, obviously, because this is my seat. But he'll be presenting his own show again, and everything will be good. And no doubt there'll be a lot of talk about Vapefest next week. You would think.
Probably.
But until then, I shall get off the airwaves. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. And I'll see you soon, and this lot will see you sooner. Matt, do you end with your titles?
I end with credits normally, or titles, or I just stop it.
Yeah.
Just do what you think best, Dave.
I don't seem to have any credits. So let's just make something up as we go along. Let's say thanks to the sponsors. Good night, everybody.
Rhydian, sing a song.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of vapetrails.tv.